What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Vanpreneur channel. I am the Vanpreneur, and today we're going to do a review about an app called LoadUp. This is one I came across a couple of months ago, and I do really like the platform. If you have certain resources at your disposal, this could work out really well for you. Let's see. So I'm going to go over a couple of pros and cons with it. We're just going to give it a simple review so that way, you know, it's something for people in the gig market to be aware of. And if you guys decide to download it and whatnot, you know, then it can generate similar results, if not better, for yourselves. So starting with the pros, we have decent pay. Now, majority of what I've came across, it's decent pay. Not all of them are loads that you would expect to see, especially considering if you're taking it to the dump or how you're actually disposing of it. But the app itself, it's a really simple app. So that is a good thing in a way. They have decent customer support. I haven't really had any issues with them, but there is one, but I'll get into that here momentarily. But it's only one occurrence, so it's not that big of a deal. But and another good thing is you really get to set your own schedule with this one. So, you know, the jobs pop up, they have certain time frames, and you say what time you can do it within a certain time frame. So the cool thing is you get to set your schedule, like it's you get to set it ahead of time. You know, it's not just like wake up and what is it today? It's wake up and okay, I got this scheduled for today. So that's another cool thing that I like about LoadUp. And one cool thing is too is that there's a different pay structure that they use. So you have to have like a PayPal, Square, or the likes to be able to get paid. And because what they'll do is send you a purchase order over and you send them the invoice of the purchase order and then they pay it. It's really simple. It really is. I use Square, which gets into the cons here as well, so I won't get into that. But so to stay on topic of the pros, I'll give you a couple of examples. So one, not too long ago, it was just here in town. It was a twin size mattress. And the instructions said that it was, you know, leaned up against the house next to their garbage. And I held this order for like a day and a half. It was like a solid 24 hours, right? And I held it after I accepted it. So after I wake up the next morning, go do the order. It takes like literally 15 minutes. It was right down the road. And that paid $70. That one was $70 even. It was really good pay for what it was, honestly. And, you know, like, so if you're in a pinch or in a crunch or some sort, LoadUp could really come through and you can make some really easy money really quickly, because if the worst of your situation is trying to figure out how to throw away a twin mattress, you know, instead of paying somebody $70 to do it, you could just do it yourself. You know what I mean? There's ways and means to go about it, especially in a business way. That's what we're talking about here. And another good example is actually today. It was in like an hour away, and it was just a really small twin size mattress, like almost like a day bed. Like it was really, really thin. Almost like what you'd see in a crib, but it was like a full-size mattress. And it was a metal frame too. It had an old metal bed frame with it. And that's all that I picked up. And that was for a total of $160. just over $160. It was like 161 and some change. So, which was, again, really good. It only took me, 2.5, 3 hours max from the moment I left my house to the moment I got back to my house. And the customer did give me a tip, which was nice. And so that just added on to that, the total pay for the job. So multiple times with LoadUp, I've made, $100 an hour pretty much, give or take just a little bit, or $50 an hour easily. So those are the reasons why I like LoadUp. So cons. In my opinion, so far, I think their older app was better. They recently came out with a new app. And I say that because the way that the product, descriptions that you're picking up were in the older app compared to the newer app, were actually just a little bit better, because it seems that the options for the customers now are just a little bit more limited. Because I've picked up multiple different things now, and it just seems like, well, before there was almost a specific option for this, and now it seems like a vague option. You could be picking up a king size mattress and the customer's just putting mattress. I don't know if the customer's just putting mattress and they're not putting king size mattress to save money or whatever, it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah. So their product descriptions, I wish were a little bit more pushed or had a sense of urgency for. I don't know. They need better product descriptions though, so you can know what you're picking up, have a better idea of what you're picking up. Let's see. The app technology. So like I said before, a pro is the app is really simple, but it's also a con. The technology for the app is, 5 years behind probably, which isn't a big deal. It doesn't need to be some super fancy thing, next level stuff. But because of the technology of the app, it's given me slight dilemmas at certain times. And another con is not all orders are worth the pay. This goes for anything, anywhere, but not all orders are worth the pay. And that means assuming that you have to take the stuff to the dump or pay for the disposal in some sort of way, it seems to be almost about half the time that's not really factored into what they're offering, because I've seen just a simple mattress pickup, a twin size mattress pickup, go for $70. Cool. And I've also seen somebody's living room set, like a couch, love seat, chair, dresser, TV stand, TV, and they're like $150. And it's like it would cost that to just take it to the dump. So as a business, you need to be aware of what you're able to afford as far as your expenses go to keep in operation, right? And so a con is I use Square payments. I'm sure there's cheaper ways out there that LoadUp supports to be able to do this, but it was only a handful, and I chose Square. I know I chose Square partially because I'm a business, I have an LLC, and it's convenient enough to be able to take payments for anything, anywhere, anytime, right? So it's like Square was seemed a little bit more professional in my opinion to use, so that's why I use it. But at the same time, when you're cashing out or transferring it to your bank, if you're doing the instant transfers and whatnot and not waiting I don't know, it's 2 or 3 business days or 3 or 4 or something like that. Could be even longer, but I always do the instant. And after they pay, and the fees are, it's quite expensive. If you're cashing out $100, you might pay like $7 or $8 or even $10, something like that. So, you know, when I've cashed out or had invoices of like $500 or something, or just over $500, I spent like $20 or $30 to be able to, after Square processes it, there is a fee for that anyways, and then there's the fee for the transfer. But so that's a con too, only because you're forced to use a payroll system to where that you have to pay a fee for, right? So you just got to keep track of all this stuff, guys. And so the bad experience I actually had, which is why I'm doing the review of LoadUp, is it's relevant to the story I said before in the last video about Roadie. It was in that same day that Roadie had the cancellation, that LoadUp had a cancellation, and I'm heading, so after Roadie cancels, I have a LoadUp pickup, and it was just a couple of things. It wasn't really a big deal, but it was decent pay for what it was. So I go to the location. It's about an hour away from my home location or home base, and as soon as I get there, I go to call the customer to let her know, hey, I'm here, because I had already gone to the door and knocked a few times, and then it says that it took me to a LoadUp support line, and I was like, well, I don't need to talk to them. So I get back out, go back to the door, and all of a sudden I feel my phone go off, and this is a span of about 5 or 10 minutes. I feel my phone go off, and I look at it, and it says the order I'm doing is canceled, customer canceled, and I'm just like I'm on the doorstep, right? And the customer comes through the door. She's like, I'm so sorry. You know, she was very apologetic and whatnot, and she had told me that she just got off the phone with the LoadUp support, customer support, and rescheduled. And I'm like, okay, that's no big deal. She's like, I'm sorry that if you had to come a long ways and whatnot. I'm like, no big deal. She's like, but I do have a TV, a broken TV, that you can take right now. That's ready to go. Yeah, that was the thing. The items weren't ready to go, which isn't a big deal. But so I take the TV, but I told her, I was like, well, seems how the order is actually through the app. I need to be able to get paid. I won't be getting paid for doing what I'm doing right now. So if you have cash on you or something, I can take the TV. And she's like, well, what do you take? And I was like, do you have $20? And so she gave me $20 for the TV. Actually, I think it was 25. And yeah, she gave me 5 extra. That's right. And I mean, I felt kind of bad, but at the same time, she did cancel right when I showed up. And as I'm contacting LoadUp, they're just telling me because the customer didn't confirm the appointment time that they weren't going to give me their $25 kickback that you get if you hold up your end of the deal, but it doesn't fall through because of the customer. So I just pointed out to LoadUp, I said that, you know, we make the appointment time based off of the customer's availability, you know, so not only were the customers not confirming anyways, it's based off of their preference or their availability. So I didn't think there was actually a confirmation necessary. Exactly. You know, aside from you doing your part of reaching out to them at some point before your arrival, to let them know like what you're doing and that you're just aware of everything going on, right? And to help them be aware of everything going on. I have had multiple instances now where the customer said that they didn't receive the text. I don't know if that's like a problem with the app or the numbers or how that goes. That part also did seem to be better with the older app, was the communication with the customer. Because there's like, other than the support line that they send you to be able to contact the customer, and it's the same number that's provided, but that's the only means of communication, and it's failed me before. And anyways, so long story short, LoadUp never actually gave me the incentive. So I went like a week or two solid, like it was a solid 2 weeks where I didn't do any work for them after that, because it just felt like a risk again, you know. And that was also a bad day, because the roadie incident that I've described in the previous video, that was in the same day. So it was my next job that I was doing. And at this point, I had my wife with me, who is a partner in my business, and she was going to help me with the LoadUp one, and it only made sense that she went with me on the first one too. So at this point, as a business, you know, I'm technically paying a helper, which LoadUp, you're supposed to pay a helper. So I mean, at that point, I was just considerably out of pocket that day. Luckily, not only did the customer give me the $25 to take that broken TV, I got an opportunity on the way back and made almost $130 from it. And money-wise, had I just done the roadie and the LoadUp that was set up for that day, I would have actually made less than what I made from the customer's cash and the last opportunity that I picked up, which went roughly 20 miles like east of where my house is. So it actually ended up working out better, although I was out of pocket, obviously, you know, like 100 miles or so. But you know, that's why you stay persistent and you don't let things get you down. You know, you got to stay positive. Things can turn around. Everything happens for a reason. So overall, we're gonna rate it now. Overall, I'm going to give LoadUp a 4.6, and which is a good rating. They got dropped down a few points because they kind of stiffed me at one point. You know, I'll take responsibility. The customer didn't confirm the appointment. I said that. I told them that right away when they asked. There's no reason not to. But they're getting a good rating because they can be super clutch. If you're in an area where it's just kind of, LoadUp's kind of popping off, I guess, people are always getting rid of stuff. Or if you already have the junk haul background or the better equipment for junk haul, because that's the thing too. I could make a lot more money with LoadUp if I had the actual equipment for it, right? I just have my cargo van, which is only going to do so much when it comes to that area, right? And you got to be kind of picky about things because you haul multiple types of goods, or you just got to be really clean about it. But so they can be super clutch, and the majority of the time they're good paying loads. Okay, so that's obviously a big bonus. Is majority of the time the opportunities that I'm picking are really good pay, really worth it. You know, today, for example, again, making almost $100 an hour all day long, right? And they're getting a 0.1 for the benefit of the doubt, for any miscommunications or anything like that, any miscommunications from customers, excuse me. And I wasn't rude to the customer at all when it was canceled or anything. Because in my mind, I thought LoadUp was actually going to pay me. So I actually wasn't too upset in the fact that I was able to get some cash out of it. You know, $50 So I didn't exactly make like $1 a mile or hit a home run or anything, but you know, in my mind, I was already actually making a little bit of money. But that's what I have for LoadUp, you guys. I do totally recommend it. If you're in a tough spot in your gig business and your cargo van business, maybe you just do like Uber or DoorDash and you want to find another gig app to do and you have the means to be able to do it, LoadUp can take your business to the next level. It's helped me bring in the past just over 2 months, I've had 9 purchase orders from them. So that's 9 separate paychecks, you could call it, or payments, and which would be 9 separate weeks. So I've done a total of at least 9 different jobs for them, and it's probably closer to 15, but it's helped bring in over $2,200 in just over 2 months. So an extra $1,000, $1,100 a month, you guys, it's totally worth it. I'll try, and I don't know if they have a referral link, but I'll try and put my Upside link in the description down below. I'm recording it from my phone, uploading it to YouTube. So what I can't do on there, I'll just hop on my computer and I do everything afterwards anyways. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.